No, you can still definitely see it.
Can you still see us?
Guys, you're not going to be able to hide. It's okay.
Ready?
Anyway.
Hey guys.
Hey, we're back!
Sorry about that long ass break.
It was like a year. No, I think it was a year and like a half. So we didn't record since last summer. And, you know, I had to go up and finish my schooling, and
I work full time.
And when we would hang out, we would want to be together. We did not want to.
We want you guys to be together with us, but you know.
When we only had a day. So, Cycle 11.
Cycle 11.
Here we go.
First one to go was one of the Britneys. There was 3, and they made 2 of them change their name. So 1 was left. And this one went home first.
Her name was Sharon.
Not really sure anything about her.
Well,
her name was Britney.
She was the one who kept on going. Like, one of the first things they did was they met all the judges. And she was like, hi, my name is Sharon. I am America's Next Top Model.
Oh, that little bitch.
Which you knew by her doing that she was going to be one of the first to go because you were too cocky. That photo shoot was when they did the political issues. And not going to lie, I didn't know what half of them really were.
Still don't.
No. Next, Nikisha.
She was anorexic, or maybe.
She was
maybe not.
So thin. She was so thin. That's what they told her. They were like, apparently she gave really good face. Like, she could do a really good fierce face. But she was just so thin that they were like, they like actually made her arm look fatter in that hot air balloon photo.
I wish I had that problem.
Well, yeah, it would be a nice problem. But she was very obnoxious. She never stopped talking. She was in the bottom 2 both weeks. So it just,
So she was a really good model.
You know, it's funny though, because we talked about the second girl syndrome, but she's one I always remembered because she was so obnoxious. The next was another Britney.
The one who stayed Britney.
Although she was probably the one who looked the least like a Britney. She was very Indian. She was very pretty, which was her problem.
After the makeovers, one of the Jays was like, you're so pretty, you're so pretty, you're almost too pretty. She's like, that's a real problem, Jay. It's like, I bet you got beat up a lot in junior high with how pretty you were.
I'm sure you've been single your whole life. And
Don't even, girl. Hannah was the next to go. Hannah is probably my least favorite contestant in all of ANTM. She was a very small town girl. I remember she had something called Alaskan fairy dust, which is what her mom gave her. And
it's
like she was still a child.
They called her a racist, I'm pretty sure. She said something that made her sound racist, and so
it's probably not that she was racist, it's that she was so small town and she's probably never met people before that she just didn't know what was socially acceptable.
The one thing I remember about Hannah was when they were doing the bathing suit shoot after they all got their makeovers, and whoever the photographer was, he's like, okay, watch out with the eyes, because she had this hat on, and she was like, doing this with her eyes, and he's like, stop. And she was like, what? Oh. She just didn't know what to do. But she actually was eliminated outside of panel.
They did a runway, which they were blindfolded, and they had like really ridiculous outfits on.
They would eliminate the person who was the worst at walking. Which I think is great because like there's always that one girl that makes the final 3 who cannot walk ever, but because she's edgy or weird, that she makes it that far, but then she can't walk, so she just takes the spot away from someone else who could have done it. And so I think that was a great idea that they did that.
Oh, absolutely.
After her was Isis, who was
the first man.
First transition. This next cycle, cycle 20, is going to feature men and women, boys and girls.
That's cray.
I'm really interested to see how they're going to do that because I don't know how you judge a male model against a female model because they're not the same, obviously, and the male model just has to take off his shirt and it's beautiful. So I'm excited for that. I just didn't think she was very good. I think it was one of those things where they were like, oh, you're different, you're going to give our show something to talk about, so we're going to put you on. She was in the background of Cycle 10's homeless shoot, and Ty was like, I'm loving this girl in the back, I love her, I want her on the show, and then she found out that she was still had some stuff. But then that's how she got on. So it was an interesting journey, but she didn't really stick around for very long.
I did see her on the Tyra show once. She did have a boyfriend. Oh. She met him on MySpace, so I bet that's just going great.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I bet they're still together.
Next to go was
Clark. Love the name. Love it!
She had a very square jaw, which made her look a little mannish to me.
They said that she was a California girl, so she went, she had really platinum blonde hair and she went brown, which made me love her more.
And she was one of those tragic cases where in the photo shoot before she got called first, it was when they were doing the water up to the eyes, one of my favorite shoots of all time, by the way. So nice. And then the next one that they did was, I think, when they were those like 60s.
They were like disasters.
Disasters.
Like she was like Earthquake, I think. Lauren Bree.
The one thing I remember is that her hot air balloon shoot was, like they said, it was one of the best pictures of the entire show. This season had great photo shoots. Yeah, no, she kind of just, again, she was like right in the middle of getting eliminated. She went home when they did the Fiercey Award photo shoot where they did like stereotypical things that happen at awards.
Elena, who we will get to in a second, was like very hard, and she just had like no emotion. And of course, she was the emotional one.
Yeah, I think they gave it to her.
And they had to like Photoshop the tear in her face. Why wouldn't she go home in that one?
Yeah, she was probably in the bottom two, I'm sure. And yeah, it was just like one of those things where I think they just got rid of her to get rid of her because she wasn't anything special, so they just got her out. But I thought she had some really good photos, and I think like when I watch YouTube videos about America's Next Top Model, when people are saying like the biggest mistake eliminations on my free time, she's on there a lot. So I think a lot of fans find that Lauren Bree leaving when she did is an injustice, which, you know, is very possible. After her was Jocelyn.
Who did not speak English, apparently. Subtitles?
I remember she went home when they did the CoverGirl commercial.
CoverGirl!
And she was sick or something, and she was again. But she was sick when they did the commercial, and it was between her and Elena again. And they sent Jocelyn home, but like I remember during her elimination, you could hear all the other girls saying, "Come on, Jocelyn, stay," because no one liked Elena, and everyone loved Jocelyn. But then Jocelyn went home, and I think that was a huge surprise to everyone. But then they went abroad to Amsterdam. Next was Sheena, and she was definitely our favorite of this season.
Love her.
She was just so much fun.
So crazy.
And she had some good moments too. The second week when they did the hot air balloon shoot, she was Jay was like, "Okay, when you get too hoochy, I'm gonna shout out hooch at you." And she was holding on with her ass. And he's like, "What are you doing?" I'm trying to make it look effortless. No,
that's just a lot of effort right there.
Looks like, oh my gosh, I can't imagine what she was. It was so funny. But then that same week, they showed her picture, and Paulina asked her if her boobs were real, and she's like, "Yeah, no, I don't have implants or anything like that." And then it was kind of awkward. And then right before they left, she walked forward and she's like, "I want to get something off my chest, so to speak, and that my boobs aren't real." And she wanted to be honest. And Tyra said, "I knew your boobs weren't real," which makes me, I don't know how she knew that. Maybe she just could tell because she has eyes. I remember watching that episode and I was like, "Oh my God, she's going home," because I didn't realize what she was going to come and do. I thought she was going to come forward and yell at them for asking her that question or something. But she was being honest, and I was like, "Oh, I don't know if she's going to stay or not." And then she did, which was great.
I wonder why she would lie at first about something like that, you know?
Yeah, I don't know what the point would be. Maybe she just got caught up in the moment. It was just no, maybe she thought they would look down on her. Or maybe she would be a role model if she was all
if you got bigger tits, if you little girls won't look up to you.
After her was Elena, which we've been talking about through the whole season.
She's very cold.
Very stoic, very just kind of...
During the photo shoot, Mr. J was like, "I want you to really get into it, scream, go, ah!" And Elena was like, ah!
The week she got eliminated, they were doing the completely stripped down, casual look, and then the really high fashion photo shoot that Tyra did, which was great. They, one of the judges said, "I know you're 18, blah, 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 but blah, blah, blah," and then Tyra just goes, "Hold on, you're 18? And she's like, "Yeah." She's like, "Oh my God." And so she made her take off stuff to make her look younger.
She was wearing a blazer and
a suit.
Yeah, and so she had her just, wear the jacket instead of a shirt underneath, which is so cute.
So it was obviously her time to go, and so when I think Tyra realized that she was 18 and that she's so just not an 18-year-old, that she was like, all right. After her was Marjorie, who was from France.
She was very weird.
She was very weird.
She was really weird.
Not
Hannah annoying weird, just
huh. I remember I think she got called first, the very first photo shoot with the political stuff. I think hers was, the only reason I remember this is because she was from she was an immigrant, she was immigration, which I do know what that political issue means. I do know that one. And she got called first. I'm like, "Oh God damn it, you're gonna be good," and you're I don't because I said this before about Lauren from Cycle. I said this from Lauren from Cycle 10, is that the really weird girls never really win. That is disproved later in a later cycle, which I'm sure we're all thinking the same girl, because they're very awkward socially, and they can't speak they can speak. They can't speak publicly.
No.
Yeah, right. So that's why I'm always kind of just about those girls. And you know, I like my top model without scoliosis, frankly. I get that that's like a really cool pose or whatever, that's your signature, but come on. Something else.
And when they did the signature moves, like, what do you want to show off about yourself? She's like, Hunchback of Notre Dame. It's like, what?
Yeah, I didn't see that one
That's what
coming.
you're gonna do?
Yeah, and then she got eliminated, blah, 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 whatever.
The next one, my baby.
She was so adorable.
So glad she does movies now.
Annalie.
Gorgeous.
Annalie. She was in Crazy
Cover.
Stupid Love.
She was a figure skater.
Oh, yes. Yes, she was our third place finisher. Very adorable. I loved her. She actually struggled a lot in the beginning. Like, didn't really stand out at all, and I thought she was going to go pretty soon. But then she finally kind of figured out a way to encompass her figure skating into her modeling. So
Because a lot of like dancers, gymnasts, anything, you know, with a background, they really struggle to like mesh the two together. Like Yaya was always like, you know, two dancer, and then they finally fucking get it. They wake up and they're like, oh, I can be both.
After her was Samantha, the runner-up.
She's alright.
She was kind of annoying, but it was okay, I think.
Every season, no
It
matter
happens
what
every time.
the Tiber male says, they think they gonna be nude. She was in the commentary and she's like, and I hope, you know, it's gonna be really tasteful and beautiful, and I'm like, hey, I'm nude. And it's like, why every single time do you think you're gonna be taking your clothes off and showing off your goodies?
I mean, I get that they normally have
one.
One.
The winner of this cycle was McKee.
Who was the other Brittany. Yes, the third Brittany.
She was really good. When she first started out, she always had the boxing. And I think, you know, she really did transform into a really good model. She knew how to walk. She knew how to take good face. You know, she had fierceness. She could do edgy really well. And she could still be kind of commercial. And I think I don't ever have problems
she was
with this
great.
winner.
I remember when they got their makeovers and they did that swimsuit shoot, and she was like laying across the rail, but her head was, or whatever. I was like, oh, she's probably gonna win. Like that photo was when I was like, okay. I don't think she had much of a. They didn't focus on her as much, which was
She
weird.
was so quiet.
Yeah.
She wasn't one of those crazy girls. She just, you know, she kept to herself and she took good pictures.
Right.
As it should be.
But that wraps up for Cycle 11. Let us know what you think about the cycle in the comments below. Comment question, like always. Was there something we didn't cover that you really liked about this cycle or didn't like about it? All right, Cycle 12 will be next.